step back to April, when we had our spring meetings and all the governors of the IMF and the World Bank, ministers of finance, central bank governors were here very anxious. Why? Because of very high uncertainty. At that time, the fear of downward adjustment was overwhelming. I remember defending, we at the fund were saying, wait a minute, it's not that bad. I mean, yes, we have uncertainty, but we also have all these strengths in the economy. And I spent in virtually every interview defending that the fund is not projecting a recession. And when I look forward from that moment, to me, the main reason we are more resilient is because good policy fundamentals underpin private sector adaptability. If we were still in a world with very big share of the public sector in the economy, as it used to be in the Gulf, as it used to be in my part of the world, that adaptability would have been missing. So my first message to everybody in this audience is, at a time of very high uncertainty, you need agility and adaptability, and the private sector is so much more capable of delivering it. Of course, it doesn't mean that the private sector would always get it right, and this is why having good data to give a sense of where we are headed, good institutions that can be there to make sure that there is a level playing field and that there is predictability of what regulations would look like. This all matters tremendously. But if I am to go back to my personal history, and you mentioned I was born in Bulgaria, I grew up in a non-market economy, I can tell everybody here, doesn't work, ain't gonna work, to have central decision making and a oversized public sector role. So what do we want for the private sector? Three things. One, clarity in the regulatory environment, not too much, not too little. Two, access to finance, and this is where the whole story of governments bringing down deficits matters so much, because if they don't do it, they're pushing up interest rates up for the private sector included. And three, we need the ability of small companies to grow. And in far too many places, if you are a small company, you're stuck between the big guys. And in so many places, failure is not treated kindly. The United States has the advantage of saying, hey, you know, I fell off the cliff, I dust myself up, I go again. But in many, many places, the laws do not clean the economy from that wood. So companies start, fail, and then they're stuck. So there is a lot. Actually, when I talk about regulatory house cleaning, I mean it. There is a lot we need to do to create this enabling environment. Why? Because uncertainty is here to stay, and we need the agility of the private sector to bolster growth prospects.
So you mentioned something. Many of